Today I want to talk about an important word in the English language that I think probably isn't used anywhere near enough. And that word is no.
No.
No deal!
So I was recently rereading some of Tim Ferriss's literature, and for those who don't know who that is, he's a very well-known podcaster and author who interviews highly successful people, from actors to sports people to business people and so on and so on. And one of the points he brought forward was that for highly successful people, they tend to say no to 90% of things, whether that be engagements, meetings, things that are going to highly affect their time management, or it could be things like ideas, opportunities. They turn them down because they're not what they need right now. It's not gonna direct them on the right path towards their goals. And I know for novice wrestlers in the game, you need that experience and you need to take those opportunities to get your name out there. So saying no isn't really an option a lot of the time. But there'll start to be a point in time where you've raised your value, you've got your name out there, you've put a few miles into the tank, and you know your worth. So you have to be a little bit pickier about the opportunities you take. You have to make sure it makes sense from a business standpoint, financially. You also have to make sure that it makes sense from an opportunistic standpoint. Is it going to lead you towards your goals? But I still see some wrestlers who have a little bit of a name, they've built some experience, they clearly have demand, but they take every opportunity even if it offers no benefit. They don't get compensated adequately for it. And for me, that's just lowering your value and putting you at a higher risk of injury. And I'm reluctant to just talk about this in a booking or opportunity sense because that wasn't the purpose of this episode. I think declining things is a very broad topic. So I want to talk a little bit about being creative and saying no to ideas that don't align with your vision. This always brings me back to a story from earlier in my career. I was in a tag match. I was maybe 3 or 4 years in. Can't for the life of me recall who I was with or who I was against, but one of my opponents was Jay Andrews, who is the head coach of the MCW Academy. And we put together most of the match, and then my partner requested an idea. He wanted to do a certain thing, and straight away without blinking, Jay Andrews said, "No, I don't like that." And I remember as a young, timid kid, that was eye-opening for me. I didn't know you could say no, especially to an experienced opponent. But this isn't to paint that in a negative light. I thought what he did was a massive positive. I still use it as a teaching point to this day. Because Jay didn't just say no, but he offered a rebuttal. He said, "No, I don't like that," because it didn't align with our vision for the match. It didn't fit the match. And sometimes when you have a vision and you're passionate about it and you believe in it and you know it's going to work, when people introduce moving parts, it can make everything fall apart. So he said no. He recommended an idea that still fit the vision, and we went with it. It worked. No harm done, no issue at all, but in the end it was a fantastic result. While in many situations compromise can be an important thing, when it comes to creative vision, I think it can dilute the waters and completely affect the end result. And yes, sometimes depending on where you are on the proverbial pecking order, you just have to suck it up and let it happen as other people want it to happen. But I believe that if you truly believe in a vision, you should be prepared to fight for it. Too often we're scared to say no because of a fear of missing out or because we don't want to let someone down. It's kind of the human condition, right? We want to be loved by everyone. We want to be respected by everyone. But sometimes not being able to say no could be holding you back from reaching your goals. So make sure that if someone offers you an invitation, you decline it respectfully. You explain your point of view, you let them know why that's the case, you appreciate their concern and their desire to have you on their show or whatever it may be, but you can't take it at this point in time. If you put it that way, there can't be any hard feelings. And if it's a creative decision that you don't agree with because it doesn't align with you and your vision, make sure you always offer a resolution. They may still say no to that resolution, but at least do that to show that you're being proactive about it and that you have the right intentions. If you just say no and that's it, you're just being a burden. So I hope you took something from this episode. I know it's a very vague concept, but it's an important one, particularly for those of us who are experience, but also have a lot of responsibilities in life and need to manage our time wisely. If you have any feedback, please drop it in the comments below. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of my weekly World-Beater Wrestling episodes. That's a tongue twister. Dropping every Thursday.
If you want to see more videos like this, click on the subscribe button, spread the word, and if you have any questions or requests for World-Beater Wrestling, don't be afraid to comment below.